It's the second date update on Mojo in the Morning.
I'm pretty sure I know what happened. I'm a little bit self-conscious about some stuff. I'm not going to get into the details of my health. It's a long story, but I do have a little bit of a limp, which can be, really hard for certain people and make a lot of people uncomfortable. So I'm super self-conscious about it. So I got to our first date a little earlier because I didn't want him to see me come in and be turned off before he knew me,
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you guys met on Hinge, from what I understand, and not on there do people say, that they have a handicap or anything, right? That doesn't ever probably come up on there.
No, I didn't. I had never seen anybody else also do that, but so no, I haven't seen that on Hinge.
Okay, so you go on the date, you have a really, really nice date, everything's great, and at the end of the date, he finds out that you have this limp, and now you're saying that he's not returning your calls or getting back to you, or
and you think it's because of that,
or is he talking to you but not wanting to go on another date?
Well, yeah, no, we're still talking. He has been calling me. He won't make plans.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's sort of like at the end of the date, he asked me, if he could walk me to my car, and I said no.
Okay, let's pick him up and let's talk to him. Henry is his name. Henry, you're okay with your voice on the radio?
Yeah, you bet.
Henry, say hi to Cassidy.
Oh.
Hi.
So, Henry, is Cassidy right in saying that you haven't been wanting to make plans for another date?
Well, it's not that definitive, I guess. I was holding off for a second. I mean, we had a good date, and I don't know what she's told you at this point, but
could you hear her on hold at all?
Yeah, some.
So what you heard was pretty much what we heard. So that's what we got. Yeah.
Well, okay. So yeah, she mentioned that at the end of the date, I wanted to walk her to the car, and then she was like, "No, it's fine," and which is weird. Like, you're just gonna stay where you are, right? And I was like, "Okay."
Where were you? Was she sitting in a booth?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, so it's like, oh,
okay.
And I was like, is she gonna meet? Does she have like another date or something? And
I'm sorry. What did you think?
I thought, like, does she have another date or something?
She was waiting there. Okay.
Yeah, but I was like, fine. And then I went out to the parking lot and I got in my car, and then I was like putting directions in my phone. I was gonna go meet a friend, so I was like waiting in my car, right? Fussing with phone stuff, and then I saw her walk out, and she limped out. She was limping, and I'm not like upset that she was limping, but there was masking it, and not that she needs to tell me the first 5 seconds or something, but just like hiding it to the point where it's like I'm gonna not even walk out or mention any of that to me, and
Cassidy,
of course I'm gonna look like a jerk right now, but it's the deception, I guess.
Cassidy, what do you want to say to this?
I mean, I understand that. I've been dealing with this a long time. It's just I never know what the right way to do this is.
Sure.
Like, do you turn it off? People get turned off, and it just is reality. So do you just knock it out of the park before it's had a chance to become a thing? Do you not? What's lying? What's not? I honestly just don't know. I'm just doing my best out here trying to figure it out.
But Henry, I mean, you said that you had a great date. I'm not thinking that this is a big deal. So now that you are aware, and Cassidy is comfortable and willing to talk about it, I guess I don't see what the issue is.
Yeah, I guess the issue is like, how many other things do I have to like find out where I like?
Oh well. But can you understand? Can you understand where she's coming from, though? Of like,
I can, but like of everything we talked to, it's just like, hey, that it was like she reserved the information for, like, what would the difference be between telling me somewhere in the date at the end of the date and like, Like, is she going? What was the plan? Like forever?
Well, I'm assuming that this is something that you do, Cassidy, because of exactly what's going on right now. The reaction that he's had.
Yeah, totally.
How can I ask this question to you, Cassie? How would you have wanted him to do this instead of the way he's done it? How would you have wanted, since he did see you walk out of the restaurant?
You know, my dream would be that I would have fully understood if he needed to confront me about it. Like, if he was sitting there and saw me, I would have fully understood if he had said something right then or called me later. But he could have compassionately approached it and maybe assumed that I would be uncomfortable and that there was no, like, nefarious hiding of anything creepy. It was just, it's a uncomfortable thing. So I guess I would have hoped he would have come to me compassionately and said, hey.
So if he said to you on your next phone call, hey, I saw you when you walked out, I understand why now you didn't get up immediately from the booth, and I just want you to know, like, that would have been the way to go about doing it, I think, Henry.
Yeah. Like, or, were you uncomfortable? Is that why you didn't tell me? Or, like, can you help me understand what happened?
Yeah.
I feel a little duped, but, like, maybe from your perspective, something I should understand, something, anything open-minded, I guess.
Sure. Tachi, what's going on? It's Mojo in the Morning. What did you want to say?
Hey, yeah. So you need to own this. This limp is part of you. It's part of your story. It makes you unique. It makes you special. And so, yeah, you can walk up to someone and say, hey, like, this is me. I have this limp. Take it or leave it. And if it bothers you or turns you off, guess what? You're not the right guy for me. And take away this mystery and this, like, sense of, like, fearfulness behind it. Like, your confidence and your owning it is what people need to see.
But can I say something, though, Tachi? This is her way of owning it. And it's her story. She can do it the way that she wants to. And I get that some people are saying right now that, what she's doing is being deceptive. But you know what? She's not being deceptive. It was the first date. And who cares? Who cares? There's a lot of people that do a lot more lying than this on a first date,
And do we have to? Yeah, and that's not the point I'm taking at all. Like, I don't think this was deceptive at all. But why I felt the need to say this was that she said, I just am doing the best I can, and I just don't know how to deal with it. And I don't know how to bring it up. And then this guy feels like, well, I would have, just wanted to be made aware. So my perspective is, like, if it's going to be a thing, right, and if she has any kind of feeling about it, that it should come up in a way that she can own the narrative, that this can be her story. Instead of him finding out and having to decide how to respond, my thing is, like, this is part of you, and yes, it's visual. So it's not something that we have the luxury of being like, okay, I'm not going to bring it up right away. It is something visual, but it's like the confidence and the energy you put behind owning your narrative, that changes how people perceive things, and that changes how you perceive yourself in the world. Like, she deserves that confidence. She deserves to own that story. And
I agree. And listen, I appreciate it. You got a great comment, but I also believe that, I think that it's tough. We don't know what it's like for her to have had guys probably in the past look at her differently, or people in public look at her differently. Marlene, what's going on? It's Mojo in the Morning.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
What's up?
Okay, I have two things. One, I'm going to sound like a bad person. The other one is advice. I have something that are wrong with me, too, that I'm not going to get into, but I tell men right up front, so that way I don't waste my time or theirs.
Okay.
Because what one man won't do, another man will.
That's right.
So, moving forward, she has to remember, if she doesn't know how to bring up the conversation, she can't expect him to know how. Because if she didn't tell him and she didn't feel comfortable enough to talk to him about it, why would he want to be the one to bring it up?
That's very fair.
Very fair, yeah. Marlene, you call us all the time, and for you to share that with us, and obviously you didn't share the specifics of it, but I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, I mean, what one man won't do, baby, 100 men will.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. And I always do. So I just want everybody to know that. I'm one of those that always do.
Try to say something.
Yeah.
No, I think a lot of people have hit on it. I don't think you have to air everything out on the first date. I think everybody's being
let Let me ask this question. If you were in a wheelchair, would you let people know before you showed up to that date that you were in a wheelchair?
Is it important?
I would probably say that they're going to notice it, right? Because they're going to see the wheelchair, unless you move into the booth with it. Mm-hmm. Maybe, but I don't know. I again, that's one of those ones where I would say it's up to you.
Right.
I mean, if the person walks in and sees it and then goes, "Oh crap," and then leaves, that's on them.
About them.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Would it be hidden? So if say they met on a dating app, would it be hidden in that dating app, or would they have the picture already out there showing they're in a wheelchair?
I think there's a lot of people that always try to make their pictures, profile pictures and stuff look completely different than who they are. And there's probably people that would hide that because they know that they wouldn't even get a swipe. Jen thinks that this is not about the handicap. What do you think?
I do think that it is about the handicap. I think that he's using the guise of deception to mask the fact that he doesn't want to date someone with a handicap. I think he's ableist. Like, I don't see how it matters that you noticed this or she told you about it if you don't truly care about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good point. Kyle wants to share his story. And Kyle, you there? Or her story, excuse me. Kyle?
Yeah, I'm here. So I just wanted to say I feel like she's in the right. I have MS. And when I was in the dating scene, I always waited a few dates to bring it up. And it's just because my disability doesn't define me, so why am I going to let somebody else define me off the bat? And I don't think that's deceptive. It's just I want you to know me before. With
you having MS, because my sister has it. My sister, it's noticeable that it's tough for her to get around. Is it tough for you to get around?
No, it's very much an invisible illness for me. I'm very lucky, but it is a talk you need to have, especially I got diagnosed really young. I was like 23 years old. So it's a hard conversation, especially in that dating pool of people that young, and you don't want them to write you off right away.
Right.
Sure.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. And thank you to Cassidy for being so open and honest with us in the second date update.
You're listening to Mojo in the Morning.